Full Send's June drop will be dropping June 29th. Like this video and subscribe if you want more Full Send drop lists. Starting it off, we got the Full Send Gap hoodie. In my opinion, this is a pretty cool hoodie, and I really like the wide variety of colors. So in my opinion, this is probably like a 7 out of 10 because it's a pretty nice design and there's a wide variety of colors. Next up, we got the NELKBOYS Chanel hoodie. And this is pretty cool because, I don't know, I really just like how it says NELKBOYS and like all the different colors. And I feel like that's a pretty cool design for a hoodie, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Next up, we got the Full Send Burner tee, and I think this is a pretty cool design for a tee. It kind of like is a thrasher kind of look, and I'd say this is definitely a good item to cop if you want to, I don't know, get some Full Send merch. Like the Burner tee, this is a pretty cool design. I would buy it if it wasn't for like how expensive some of these Full Send stuff is, because these are like 80 bucks. I don't really want to drop $80 on a hoodie, but it definitely is a really cool design. Next up, we got the RONA season Ocean tee. This is pretty cool. It's kind of got the Jaws look, and I think it's a pretty cool design for a tee. And I think if you really like RONA season, I think it's a must cop. Next up, we got the RONA season hoodie, and I think this is pretty cool. I actually like this colorway better than the white colorway, just because it kind of fits a little bit better. So I think this is a pretty cool cop for a tee or for a hoodie, and I think maybe it's worth $80. Just up to you. Next up, we got the black Full Send face mask, and I think it's pretty cool that Full Send's making these face masks. I just wish they like donate a lot of the profits to something, some like COVID-19 kind of charity. I don't really know. It's really up to them. Next up, we got the Full Send cursive tank. I'm not really into like tanks, but I think this is a pretty cool design, and I think the color variety is pretty cool, and so I think it's a pretty good cop if you're into tank tops. Next up, we got the pink Full Send face mask, and I definitely think this one's a lot better than the black Full Send face mask, just because it's a little bit more variety of color. So I like colors, so I think this one's pretty cool. Next up, we got the blue Full Send face mask, and I think this one's even better, just because I like blue more than I like pink, and this one, I don't know, it just kind of fits, and it's like a cool vibe kind of face mask. It's pretty cool, and if it's under $10, I might have to cop. Next up, we got the Auntie Killer 2 tee, and I think this is pretty cool. I like the design, but it's a little bit too weird for me, so I won't be copying this one. But I definitely think it's a cool shirt to cop. Next up, we got the Full Send Life's a Trip tee, and I actually like this one. It looks pretty cool. I like the, like, I don't know, the mushroom part, and just, I don't know. It looks pretty cool to me, so I think this is a good tee to get, one of the better ones in this drop. Next up, we got the Full Send Stripe tee. I think this is pretty cool. I'm not really into stripes, but I think it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like kind of like an optical illusion. So I think that's a pretty interesting design for a t-shirt. I don't really know. Right now where I'm looking on the computer screen, it's kind of tripping me out though. Next up, we got the Auntie Killer long sleeve, and this is kind of cool. I don't know, I'm not really into it that much. I'm not really into the Auntie Killer design, but I think the long sleeve is a little bit better than the regular t-shirt. Next up, we got the Full Send Eagle hoodie, and I think this is kind of cool. I wish they just gave it a different color than this burnt rust color. I don't really like the color, but if they had a different color, it could be a really cool hoodie. Next up, we got the NELKBOYS Classic Tank, and I think this is pretty cool. I think the design's alright, but as I said before, I'm not really into tank tops, and this really doesn't pique my interest at all. Next up, we got the Full Send Candy hoodie, aka the Bradley Martin hoodie, because that's what he's selling candy, and I think this is pretty cool. I kind of wish the design was on the front, but I think it really works either way, and I think it's a pretty cool hoodie to get. And if you want it, this is one of the better hoodies in the entire drop. Next up, we got the Full Send Candy Tank, and this is pretty cool. I'm not really into tanks, as I said before, but I definitely think it's one of the better looking tank tops in the entire drop. Next up, we got the Full Send Pipe Dream hoodie, and I think this is pretty cool. I'm not really into this hoodie because I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. It doesn't really, like, stand out to me, but I think it's a pretty cool hoodie, but I don't think it's one of the better ones you can get. Next up, we got the SteveWillDoIt Vegas tee, and I think this is pretty cool. It really just shows Steve's personality because he's a gambler, and this, I don't know, just kind of proves that he's a gambler. I think it's a pretty cool tee, and I think it's just a nice classic design, so I think it's definitely a good tee to go for. Next up, we got the SteveWillDoIt Vegas hoodie, and I think the Vegas hoodie is just as good as the tee, even if not better. I really like the black design, and I don't know, I just feel like it fits Steve well. Next up, we got the Full Send Pipe Dream tee, and like I said before, I don't think this is one of the better designs. I think there are a lot better ones you can get, but I definitely think it's a pretty cool t-shirt, and it's like a nice design. Next up, we got the Full Send Ransom tee, and I definitely think this is my second favorite tee in the entire drop. So I'm definitely going to go for this one when it actually drops, and I'm hoping I can get it in time before it sells out. Next up, we got the Full Send 90s trucker hat. It's got that Dixie Cup vibes. I don't really think trucker hats look good, but I definitely think it's a pretty cool design, and I definitely like where they're going with this one. Next up, we got the Full Send Ransom hoodie, and I think this one's just like the other one. This is probably the best hoodie in the entire drop, just because the other shirt that I like isn't actually a hoodie, it's just a shirt, but this one's very cool. Next up, we got the RONA Season Paradise tee. I think it's a pretty cool shirt. I don't think it's anything really special. I think there are a lot better tees you can get, but I definitely think it's one of the cooler shirts in the drop. Next up, we got the Satchel Kill Confirmed tee. I actually like the front a lot on this tee, but I hate the back. I hate how they actually put a satchel on there. You can just wear the Full Send satchel if you really want it, but I don't know. I just don't really like that part. I would probably get this tee if it wasn't for the satchel on the back, though. Next up, we got the Full Send Reaper Crewneck, and I think this is definitely the best design in the entire drop. I wish they had a shirt for this because it's just, I don't know, it's just an amazing design to me. And I definitely think whoever made this design really needs to get a raise. Next up, we got the RONA Season Paradise tank. I think this is pretty cool. I'm not into tanks like I've said before, but I think this is a pretty cool design. Next up, we got the Full Send embroidered hats. I don't like these at all. I don't really like that logo. I feel like it doesn't really fit the Full Send like logo thing. I wish they just did a regular Full Send logo instead of like a circle logo. I don't really know. I don't really like this one though. Next up, we got the Full Send Invitationals long sleeve. This one's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of fits the Full Send vibe, but I'm not really into this one. There's a lot better stuff in this drop besides this one though. Next up, we got the Full Send cursive tee. This one's really cool. I think I might get it if it's like still in there after a couple minutes because I really like this one. I feel like it's a really clean design, so yeah. Next up, we got the Full Send floral trucker hat. This one's pretty cool, and I like the floral part of it, but I don't really like the trucker hat part of it, so I think it's a pretty cool design, and I really think they should expand on this type of design. Next up, we got the Full Send dad hat. I think this one's pretty cool. I think it's probably one of the better hats. I don't know. I really just like the dad hat and just like the Full Send embroidered part because that just looks a lot better in my opinion. Next up, we got the Full Send blue pill tee. I think this is pretty cool. I like the blue pill part. I don't know. It's a pretty cool design. I think it's a pretty cool tee. Don't think it's the best. I think there's a lot better tees to get though. Next up, we got the Full Send classic beach shorts. These are pretty cool in my opinion. I like the shorts from like Full Send. I mean, these look pretty cool. I think I might have to get these if they're pretty cheap. Next up, we have the SteveWillDoIt Bulldog shirt. This one's pretty cool. I mean, it's not the best. I like the other SteveWillDoIt tee, but it's pretty cool either way. Next up, we got the Full Send Retro 3D tee. I think this one's pretty cool. I really like the 3D part of the tee, and I think it's pretty cool, at least. Next up, we got the SteveWillDoIt Bulldog hoodie, and I think this one's also pretty cool. It's just a nice, clean logo, in my opinion. It's not the greatest logo, but it's definitely a cool SteveWillDoIt hoodie. Next up, we got the Full Send Retro 3D trucker hat. Really cool design, like I said before, but I just don't really like the trucker hat at all, so it's not the greatest hat in the drop. Next up, we got the LEGALIZE TUGGIES tee. This one's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of has a reference to a video, so I definitely think it'll sell out pretty quickly. So if you want this, you gotta be quick on it. Next up, we got the SteveWillDoIt Akimbo CIGS tee. This is pretty cool. I'm not really into wearing a shirt that says Akimbo darts on it, but definitely it's a pretty cool design, so I definitely think a lot of people will like this shirt. Next up, you got the Dude Wears the Send tee. I definitely think this is pretty cool. It's kind of got like a throwback 90s reference, so I definitely think some people like it, but other people just won't understand the reference, so I don't really know. It's definitely a cool shirt, though. Next up, you got the Dude Wears the Send hoodie. It's the same thing. Definitely a cool design, but it's a hoodie, so it's going to be more expensive. I'd rather stick to the tee on this one, but that's just my kind of thing. Next up, we got the 90s Full Send tank. I definitely like this one. I just wish they put this logo on a tee because I feel like it would look a lot better than a tank top because I feel like tank tops don't look that great just because I don't really have that many muscles. Next up, we got the OSAMA Bin Bradley tee, which is my favorite tee of the drop. I just feel like it's such a troll tee just because We got Bradley Martin and Osama bin Laden in one person, and it's on the tee. I just feel like it's really cool. And it's just a really interesting design, so I'll definitely be trying to cop this one. Next up, we got the Full Send towel, which is, you need to have one of these when you're trying to get a kill at the beach because it improves your chances by at least 50%. So I definitely think you should get one of these. Next up, we got the SteveWillDoIt boot. I don't know, it's pretty classic Steve thing, and if you're into drinking alcohol out of a boot, maybe get it, but if not, definitely stay away from this one because it's not the greatest design either. Next up, we got the Full Send skate decks. Definitely my favorite accessory of the entire drop, just because I love just having a skate deck to display on the wall and maybe to even skate on, so I definitely think this is a good one to cop. Next up, we got the Full Send shades. These ones are going to be perfect for with the beach towel. When you're wearing these and the beach towel, the chances of getting a kill that day will automatically double, and you'll just have a twice as good of a chance of getting a kill that day. Next up, we got the Full Send license plate cover. This just means you'll probably get a lot more love taps on the back of your car when you're driving down the highway. But it's definitely a cool license plate cover, and if it's pretty cheap, I might have to cop one of these. Next up, we got the Full Send bandana. This is pretty cool. It's just a regular Full Send bandana, but definitely is a nice item to just add to the drop. Next up, we got the Full Send lanyard. Definitely a pretty cool item. I definitely think it's a pretty cool accessory to get if you get it with something else at least. Next up, we got the Full Send guitar strap. I don't know who's buying this because I don't know who likes NELK and also also plays guitars. I don't really know, but I definitely think it's a pretty cool item if you're into guitars and into NELK at the same time. Next up, we got the Full Send Club Pool Floaty. This one's an insta-cop if you have a pool in your backyard, but if not, I don't know why you would get one of these at all. Next up, we got the SteveWillDoIt lanyard. I think the Full Send lanyard is a little bit better, but it definitely is a cool lanyard either way. Next up, we got the Full Send black duffel bag. It's pretty cool. It's got the Full Send branding. Definitely think this could be a cool item if it's pretty cheap, but I doubt it'll be cheap. I think it'll be over $150. Next up, we got the Full Send beer pong kit. I definitely might have to cop one of these, especially if the beer pong table is cheap. If that's like, I don't really know, but if both these are cheap, I'm 100% buying the beer pong kit and the beer pong table. Next up, we got the beer pong table, and like I said, if this is cheap, I'm 100% copying this because it looks pretty nice, and it's just like, I don't know, it's cool. It's a cool table to play beer pong on. Next up, we got the Full Send air fresheners. They're definitely trying to compete with the little trees now, and I definitely think it could be a cool thing if you're not trying to, like, I don't know, get something else, but it's probably going to be pretty expensive for an air freshener, so I would probably stay away from these. Next up, we got the Full Send cooler backpack. This is a must cop if you want a Full Send cooler and if you just want to keep your Ronas cool when you're just going out somewhere. So you definitely need to cop one of these if you need to keep your Ronas cool. Next up, we got the Full Send satchel, and this is a must cop if you get the satchel kill confirmed, just because this will double your chances of getting a satchel kill, and I feel like it's just a pretty cool bag either way. Next up, we got the Full Send shotgun tool, and this is a must cop if you're shotgunning a lot, but if not, you can just get it, and it's a pretty cool accessory either way. Next up, we got the Full Send fishing lure, and if you're going out to fish, I mean, you kind of need one of these because they look pretty cool, and I don't know, they're pretty nice, I guess. There's only one unit of each of them, so I don't know if it's the greatest idea to get one of these, but if you get multiple, it's pretty cool to use as a fishing lure. Last up, we got the Full Send cursive hoodie, and I definitely think this is pretty cool. It's definitely a pretty simple design, but I think it's a really clean design. I definitely think it's one of the better hoodies that they're dropping this entire drop. Alright, if you want to join a really good Discord for free, there's a link in the description to my Discord. In my Discord, we got monitors, we got slots, we basically got everything, and I think it's just a really good community to join, and especially because it's free. Like with anything that's free, you can just get it, or you could leave. So with something that's free and provides actual value, you kind of have to join it. So also, you can leave whenever you want. So if you don't like it, you don't like the notifications anymore, you can just leave. But since it's something that's free, it's not like you wasted anything on it. So join the group. There's a link in the description. There's a lot of information in there. We got basically everything in there. Anything you could want sneaker-wise, it's in there. And we got monitors. We got everything you'd want. If you're a sneaker reseller, if you're just any kind of reseller, we got monitors, we got slots, we got a marketplace, we got tickets, we got everything. Anything you can want, we got it.